I'm David, and 3 months ago, my boss fired me in front of the entire office after I'd given him 12 years. 12 years of building relationships, 12 years of being the guy clients asked for by name. And he fired me to protect his nephew. He had no idea that the moment I walked out that door, so did his biggest client. If you've ever been pushed aside by someone who should have known better, this one's for you. Welcome to Dark Truths Untold. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. I worked at a marketing agency in Charlotte, North Carolina, about 40 employees. I started there at 24, answering phones and making coffee. By the time I turned 36, I was running our biggest account, a regional restaurant chain called Bellevue, 40 locations across 3 states. That one account brought in almost 40% of the agency's revenue. I built that relationship from nothing. Late nights, weekend calls. I knew their menu launches before their own staff did. My boss, Richard, owned the agency. He was fine, distant but fine, until his sister's son, Connor, graduated college and needed a job. Connor walked in with a title I'd worked 12 years for, Vice President of Client Strategy. He'd never managed an account in his life. Richard asked me to show him the ropes, so I did. I introduced Connor to every client, walked him through every account, every relationship, every detail that took me over a decade to learn. I trained the person who was going to replace me. Then Bellevue's biggest campaign of the year came up, their fall menu launch, worth about $2 million in media spend. Richard decided Connor should lead the pitch, with me supporting. I wrote the strategy, I built the deck, Connor presented it. During the meeting, Connor got a basic fact wrong. He told Bellevue's marketing team that their new locations were opening in the wrong state. A small mistake, but Bellevue noticed, and they were not happy. After the meeting, Richard called me into his office, not Connor, me. He said the client was concerned about the account team. He said maybe it was time for a change. He said, and I remember this exactly, "Connor's still learning, you understand, right? He's family." He fired me, after 12 years, to protect a 23-year-old who'd been there for 4 months. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just nodded, packed my desk, and left. What Richard didn't know, 2 weeks before this meeting, Bellevue's marketing director, Karen, who I'd worked with for 8 years, had quietly asked if I'd ever consider working somewhere else. I told her I wasn't actively looking, but I didn't say no either. The week after I got fired, Karen called me again, a senior position at a competing agency across town, with one condition. They wanted me to bring Bellevue with me. Legally, ethically, there was nothing stopping me. Bellevue wasn't under any exclusivity contract, and 3 weeks later, they left. 40 locations, $2 million a year, walked out the door with me. Richard found out the same day Bellevue's lawyers sent a formal notice ending the contract. He had to lay off 6 people that quarter, including Connor, who without me to lean on, couldn't keep any of his accounts happy. About 2 months later, Richard called me. He said the agency was struggling. Maybe we could talk about me coming back as a consultant. I was polite. I told him I was happy where I was. What I was thinking was simple. You spent 12 years training me to be replaceable to you, but you forgot I was never replaceable to them. He didn't lose an employee that day. He lost his agency's foundation, and he didn't even realize it until it was already gone. If you've ever been treated like you were replaceable, remember this. Sometimes the quietest exit is the loudest message you'll ever send. Smash that like button and tell me in the comments, have you ever watched someone get exactly what they deserved without you having to do a thing? Subscribe to Dark Truths Untold. Stay sharp, and remember, the people who think you're replaceable are usually the ones who need you most.